Knew this was going to be a grind of a game against a really well-coached football team in all three phases on that sideline. We weren't exactly at our best throughout. We're still hunting that 4 quarters of true consistent football that we want to see, but I was really proud of our guys and the complimentary football that showed up there to help put that thing away, and some real significant performances today. You know, none bigger than Greg Joseph stepping in there for his longest field goal in team history for the 61-yard game winner. Metellus with the block punt, Daniil Hunter 2 sacks and 7 tackles, and then T.J. Hawkinson and Justin Jefferson with both some record-setting days here, you know, amongst our team, and our quarterback continuously plays very, very good to help us when we need him the most in those fourth quarters and to try to will our team to some wins. There's a lot of things that we can do better, a lot of things coaches can do better, but no better feeling than doing it after you're winning your 12th game of the season still with 2 to go. But we're well aware that our best football is hopefully out in front of us, and that's only going to come from the work and the commitment to continuing to build what we're doing here the right way. Just injury updates for you guys. Lynch did kind of re-aggravate that shoulder. We'll see how he turns over, but you know, a re-aggravation of a previous shoulder injury. You know, he could be day-to-day, and we'll let you guys know earlier this week how he does. And then Sullivan, Channing came back in the game, just kind of banged that knee a little bit and was able to respond and come back in and show his toughness. But hard-fought victory against a team that we've got a chance to possibly see again here. It's a good football team over there, and we're really proud of our guys for being able to overcome and win. Thought our crowd was tremendous again, as they always are, and that's why it's so important to us to continue to try to secure some of these victories to give ourselves as many opportunities as possible here at U.S. Bank Stadium.
Kevin, how close did you need to get before you decided to kick there at the end for Greg?
Right about that line. Right about that line. I think the big thing right there is just always the threat of, you saw them put Love back there to catch the ball and to block for a long field goal attempt. You got to have a lot of your linemen on the field, so it's that gauge. And I looked over at Greg and could just see he had a great look in his eye, and he absolutely hammered that kick. And just so much credit goes to him. All the preparation he does when no one's watching for moments exactly like that. Really proud of Greg, and I think our whole team, you could kind of feel it in the locker room, just how proud everyone was of him.
Kevin, when you run a screen there towards the end when the clock's ticking down, what kind of thought process goes into the consideration of trying to manage the clock, making sure Justin gets down in time?
Yeah, we alert the huddle. Regardless, there was a couple plays called in the huddle based upon the looks, and we alert the huddle of the situation that we're going to clock the football. And then kind of from there, it's really, calling a premier mentality of, hey, if they're going to send pressure like we expected, clock stop, 2-minute, we're going to try to put the ball in play and see if we can possibly get up and under a couple of those blocks, because they did bring kind of one of their overloads, whether away or to it, and great execution, as we saw last week with some big screens and some big moments. I don't know what Justin got on that play. But for him to get north and south, for us to cover people up and almost run out of the thing. But then 19 seconds left to have the ability to get up there and get that thing clocked, give Greg a chance. I thought it was a huge moment, as well as the completion previously to Justin where we held up versus kind of a boundary overload. So a lot of overload pressure, a lot of what the Giants are. And like I said, when I say that I have a lot of respect for these coaches, not only their head coach has done a phenomenal job, but Wink's always been one of those coordinators. It's a challenge every time you go against those guys, because at any moment they can create a play that can change the game just by the nature of how they play. So you've got to mitigate risk while also trying to be aggressive yourself in some moments like that.
Yeah, you guys work so much on situational stuff, even starting in training camp.
Yep.
Did you ever honestly think it would play a role in 11 wins this year?
I knew it would play a role in some wins, probably not that many, but our guys' ability to be able to play with a quieted mind and just understand the situation and pitch and catch and execute some things, maybe the best execution all day in those moments, and that's a theme for our team. Now what we've got to do is find a way to create that kind of urgency and execution level throughout 4 quarters, and we're going to see something really special with this team. But every week in this league, it's a grind to win games, especially against teams like that are going to play good football. So proud we were able to overcome it, and like always, there's a lot we can do better, me none more than anyone else. I got to be out in front, making sure I continue to push our team to understand 12 wins is great, We've earned each and every one of those wins, sometimes right down to the very end, most times right down to the very end. But we're still building something here that every moment we get to prepare, grow as a team, those things matter, and we got to take advantage of them.
What does the mindset become with all these wins you pull out? Is the team just, no matter the circumstance, they just assume they're going to win? Have these heart-stopping wins almost become routine? Or
No, I don't think they assume. I just think they're prepared in those moments to find a way. And whatever phase that is, understanding the importance of stepping on the grass, no matter how much time, no matter the urgency, no matter the situation. Hopefully we've repped it, talked about it, practiced it, acknowledged the difficulty, and accept the challenge to go get it done. And I think that's what our team's done a lot this year in those moments.
Kevin, can you describe what enabled TJ to get so open on the first touchdown pass?
Yeah, we were in a big grouping there. He's an attached tight end, kind of selling, almost like a low cross route, we call it, on a keeper. Kirk's attacking the edge, and then we just allow, JJ to change direction there and kind of lose his defender. Perfect look for the play, but then it's on Kirk and TJ to execute there, and even with the multi, the white, purple, white end zones there, able to get his feet in. And that was my only fear when I saw him kind of running across the back, is would he know where the actual back line was? And great pitch and catch by those guys. We had kind of a similar play design on one of those early 3rd and short, where JJ kind of ran something pretty similar and taking a shot there, hoping we would convert that one, but we didn't. So just wanted to be aggressive in those moments where we could dictate a little bit more than 3rd and 8, and they may be coming over the walls at you, and you got to be careful in those moments.
What kind of superlative do you have for Justin Jefferson after this type of performance?
I told him, after that 3rd down catch, in the red zone there, I just told him it's a pleasure and an honor to coach a player like that can show up in those biggest moments. And one of his best routes, quite honestly, that I've seen him run. And he's ran a lot of great ones, a lot of ones that end up on social media. But the type of coverage he was facing in that moment, and the detail and his ability to separate in an absolute huge critical moment, without the let's just call it a less than ideal look. I just told him he's a special player, and I just absolutely love him to death, and just hope that he knows that. And it's never a bad thing to tell somebody you love them. That's what my wife tells me.
Kevin, what's it been like with Greg Joseph? Went through the rough stretch. He missed 5 extra points, 5 straight field goals of longer than 50, but the way he's kind of fought through it and bounced back these last few weeks, especially today.
Yeah, I think it's important that our players understand that adversity is going to be met with opportunity to, as our team has done. We have not always played well as a team in moments and games, but that's adversity that we need to respond to. And I think on an individual level for a kicker, it's hard, right? Greg had, a couple swings there, early on in the season where, hey, let's get back and make sure we continue to work technique, fundamentals, make sure we're dialed in with the execution of snap, hold, kick, so that you guys can be what you've been for us since I got here, is ultra consistent, and just pick them up and let them know that we've got nothing but 100% confidence in those guys to go execute. And then you got to give them the opportunities in those moments to prove what you say. And then when you see that ball go through the uprights and our team go crazy, those are real growth moments for everybody.
When you guys get up 23-16, did you give any thought there to going for 2 to try to make it a 9-point game?
Yeah, I did. I just, in that moment, I felt strongly about making it an 8-point game to ensure that it would be tied if they went down. Worst case scenario for us in that moment, they go down, score, and get the 2-point. I just didn't want to give, at that point you can eliminate them from then going down to score and get the 2-point to take the lead. And then all of a sudden that last drive, we're needing to kick a 61-yarder. To possibly not lose the game. So I thought we went back and forth. I talked to Ryan quite a bit about it in the moment, but yeah, that was one that we did discuss. But I thought it was important to get that 8-point lead in that moment.
Kevin, did you see this being the type of game that would allow TJ to have as big a game as he did?
I thought he would have an opportunity. I really did, just based upon when he wasn't going to be. If it turned into an ultra pressure game like it could be at times against that team, it'd be hard to get him out truly as much as we'd like. But he was able to, really make some hay underneath coverage. There was a lot of roll coverage to Justin, playing a lot of split safety. We were able to get Justin and him, kind of work in the middle of the field at different times. And then, quite honestly, just the red zone the way he showed up on that first touchdown, kind of that designed play, and then his second one as well. Just really sharp by TJ, and continues to find a real role for us in our offense. And just like KJ can have a huge game last week, that game is out there for all of our players, with our quarterback kind of finding the open man, playing with great poise, and our offensive execution being consistently where we want. We could have, quite honestly, just across the board, we could have been better today offensively and helped our team a little bit more, and that's what we'll go back and continue to work through. But to get it done was a credit to our players.
Coach, you mentioned how much pressure they sent, especially late. I guess, what did you think about how Kirk handled those and just stood in the pocket?
Yeah, those are the moments that they are trying to cause chaos. They are trying to cause a frantic feel to how you play, and he just the throw to Justin before the screen was a great example of trusting that protection, stepping up, our guys executing up front and getting that ball thrown and caught in a huge moment that allowed us to then give ourselves a huddle call chance to be aggressive with the play call, and also have that screen to Justin in our back pocket to execute at a high level. And those plays mean a lot to our team in those moments, and that's how you execute in situational football, by everybody having a level head and being led by your quarterback, like he's done time and time again this year.
You've talked about trying to be more aggressive on defense. The quarter blitzes today, was that something that kind of got cooked up this week, or where did those come from?
No, we've had those, whether you're sending the nickel, the corner, whatever it is. Sometimes they're run-stopping pressure. Sometimes they're just trying to catch off maybe some of their RPO game or some of the gun run. But I thought Ed was aggressive in spots and continues to kind of make adjustments in game to give ourselves a chance. They held them under 30% on third down, to force some turnovers there, and offensively we were able to not have any turnovers. So when you win that battle, and although it can feel like a grind sometimes against that team, you play clean enough, you'll give yourself a chance to win in the end, and that's when our team tends to respond.
Kevin, you said you had that screen in your back pocket if you needed it. So did you start that possession thinking this is on a short list of plays I might call? Or?
Yeah, it was just something that I could add to the call when I felt like it might be justified to give Kirk that opportunity. So we were going to try to be aggressive and get the ball down the field, because you don't want to have to rely on a 61-yarder if you don't have to. We had kind of we had some injury things throughout the second half that I needed to be better knowing who was available, and kind of play clock ran down, had to take a timeout. That's 100% on me. So without our full complement of timeouts, I knew we would need chunks, but I didn't want to jeopardize possibly putting Kirk in a tough situation. So great audible by him that he had at his disposal, and then you got to go execute that screen in that moment with some really athletic people chasing and running to make that tackle. So big play for our team, and gave Greg a chance. Thanks, guys.